Hi everyone, Victoria here, Coach V as I am also known. For those of you joining in, if you don't know me, I am Victoria Dosen, owner of VixieFit.com. I am a women's health fitness professional and I specialize in core and pelvic floor health and pre and postnatal health. So today I am bringing you this live session. It was inspired by a comment made by a Hollywood celebrity for a magazine, I believe it was Cosmopolitan magazine, and in her interview she said that the laziest thing she has ever done was to have a C-section. And when I saw this, I think my eyes rolled so far back into my head that they almost got stuck. I am sick and tired of the passive aggressiveness and the comments made by other women to other moms on how they should birth their baby, what ways are the best and what ways are the worst, because in my opinion, and having had been on that other end of receiving those passive aggressive comments, my opinion is that you as a mother need to do what is best for both you and your baby. So for your body, for your emotions, and for your mental space. And if you need to have a C-section, if you want to have a C-section, then go for it. If you want to have a all-natural, no drugs vaginal delivery, then go for it. You need to do what is best for you and your body. So instead of getting up on a soapbox and sitting here and ranting and raving, or ranting about what this celebrity said, I wanted to turn it into an educational opportunity for you. So if you are a mama who has had a C-section, no matter how long it's been since your C-section, if you are a mom who is getting ready to have a C-section, or if you are a coach who works with moms, most likely you have some female coaches who have had a C-section. So I want to share with you some tips on how to help get back into everyday life, get back into fitness post C-section. So the first one is you want to get started with your core connection breathing as soon as you can. So what do I mean by core connection breathing? I mean learning how to activate the deeper core muscles with your breath. So this is the exercise, if you want to call it, or the action that you want to do to help really heal your core and pelvic floor post-birth, or if you've had any kind of abdominal or pelvic surgery. This is going to help strengthen those deeper abdominal and core muscles and help them function well again. It's not going to be sit-ups, it's not going to be crunches, it's learning how to engage and activate your transverse abs, your pelvic floor, your multifidi, and your diaphragm with your breathing. Okay, so your core connection breathing, what is that? Well, before I go over what it is, once you've had your C-section, actually let me rewind, you will want to do your core connection breathing during pregnancy. It'll help keep your core and your pelvic floor supported and help minimize diastasis recti and help with any pelvic floor problems. If you have had a C-section, you want to wait at least until your incisions have fully healed to really activate your transverse abs and your pelvic floor. And if you have any questions on how to activate any of these muscles, you can always shoot me a message and I will help you and walk you through that. So immediately after your C-section, I want you to focus on learning how to breathe using your diaphragm. So on your inhale, learning how to breathe deep into your diaphragm. So thinking about expanding front, sides, and back side of your rib cage with air, and at the same time letting your pelvic floor come down and relax. So very much like a jellyfish. When a jellyfish gets ready to propel through the water, if you think about that motion of the jellyfish coming down and relaxing, that's how I want you to imagine your pelvic floor being on your inhalation breath. So that's the first part of this core connection breathing. So you're going to focus on inhaling, letting the pelvic floor relax and come down. Now after your incisions have fully healed, then you can start adding in your transverse abdominal contraction and your pelvic floor contraction with your exhale breath. So when you put it all together, your core connection breathing looks like inhaling, deep into the rib cage, letting your pelvic floor relax and come down, and then on that exhale breath, breathing all that air out and gently doing a Kegel and contracting that space between your lower abs. And again, if you have any questions about that, you can shoot me a message and I will gladly walk you through that. So first tip, getting your core connection, breathing down. Second tip, getting your alignment dialed in. So what do I mean by alignment? I mean, how is your body stacked on top of itself? So very often, and I know I'm speaking from personal experience as well, after you've had a C-section, oftentimes women will have a tendency to slump forward. It's almost like a protective mechanism that they're doing because they're afraid to really stand up tall and possibly stretch out those incisions because it hurts. So you want to make sure that you have your alignment dialed in, because if you allow yourself to get stuck in this hunched over position, then you are actually creating a lot of intra-abdominal pressure, pushing up against the abdominal wall and down on the pelvic floor, which is not good when you're healing your core and pelvic floor. So if you have a diastasis after pregnancy, and almost every mom has a diastasis recti, a separating of the abdominal wall after pregnancy, if you do things and exercise in a way that puts more pressure on that abdominal wall, it'll just make that diastasis worse and it'll take even longer to heal. So you want to get your alignment dialed in. So for your alignment, I want you to think that you are standing nice and tall. You have like a string attached to your head. So someone is pulling that string on your head. So you're either standing or sitting nice and tall, okay? Your rib cage, you are going to keep your rib cage stacked down over your pelvis. So no rib thrusting, no sticking your boobs or your girls up towards the ceiling, or no slouching forward. So you want to keep your rib cage stacked nicely over your hips, all right? And then the next piece of that puzzle is you want to let your glutes relax. Another thing that moms have a tendency to do is they have a tendency to tuck their tailbone under and sit way far back in their rib cage when they're trying to hold their baby. So, hi Denise, thanks for joining. So you want to make sure that you have your alignment dialed in. So again, alignment is standing nice and tall, rib cage stacked nicely over the pelvis, glutes relaxed or untucked. If you're having trouble trying to understand what I mean by glutes relaxed, imagine having your glutes be the last thing to walk through a door when you're entering a doorway, okay? So have your alignment checked and make sure that you are practicing your alignment frequently throughout the day. The third tip is abdominal wrapping. And I'm not talking about any of those crazy saran wrap kind of things. I'm talking about the wraps that you can use postpartum to help support your core and your pelvic floor while it's healing. There's a lot of back and forth as to whether wrapping is a good thing or it's a bad thing. My opinion on it is, if it helps you feel more supported through your abdominals and your pelvic floor, then by all means go ahead and wear one, because your abs will feel very deflated after you give birth to your baby. They will even more so feel like this after you've had a C-section. So I hate to say it this way, but very often after you've had a C-section, the first few times getting up and moving around, I know I felt this way the first C-section I had, you will want to make sure, it'll feel like your innards want to spill outward when you're going to stand up and move. So abdominal wraps can be huge for a new mom that has had a C-section. So go ahead and wear one if it helps you feel supported. Make sure you're not wearing it all day long and that it becomes a crutch. You want to take it off and take it off frequently throughout the day so that you allow your core muscles and your pelvic floor to engage more and get stronger on their own. So you don't want to use it as a crutch. You also want to make sure that you're doing some kind of rehab program for your core and your pelvic floor. And if you have any questions about that, I have a program for that and I can help you with that. So abdominal wrapping, if it helps you feel supported, go ahead and do it. And one last tip. Don't put it on so it's squeezing you so tight that you can barely breathe, you can barely move. You want to have that wrap on just snug enough so that you can breathe normally and you can maintain good alignment. All right? So let's review before we keep going on. Tip number 1, make sure you get your core connection breathing going as soon as possible. So activating those deeper core muscles with your inhalation breath and your exhalation breath. Tip number 2, get your alignment dialed in. Make sure that you are standing in a way that minimizes intra-abdominal pressure and helps to alleviate aches and pains. Tip number 3, if you are going to wear an abdominal wrap, go ahead and do it. If it helps you feel more supported, just don't let it become a crutch and don't wear it too tightly. Make sure you are breathing normally. All right, last 2 tips. So we're going to hop into some nutrition tips. So if you have had a C-section, and this really goes for any time postpartum, you want to make sure that you are eating foods that are high in protein and have a decent amount of fat to help repair tissue, help rebuild tissue, and help you feel full, satisfied, keep your blood sugar levels balanced out, and help keep your energy levels up. The next kind of nutrients you want to make sure that you are getting are iron, zinc, vitamin A, C, and E to help with tissue repair and help reduce inflammation, because the more inflammation you have, the longer it's going to take to heal from that C-section. And as we all know, a C-section is a major abdominal surgery. Okay, so those are a few nutrition tips for you. And then last but not least, this is a huge one, and this is often something that it very often gets ignored, and a lot of health practitioners do not let moms know that they should be doing this post C-section. And that is getting some kind of massage work done around and on your incision area. So anytime you have any type of injury, any type of surgery, your body's way of healing from this procedure is developing scar tissue. And what that scar tissue does is it doesn't lay down nice and connected and smooth and everything looks good. What happens is it basically forms like cobwebs or spider webs around your body. So it attaches to whatever it can. It attaches to different tissues, different organs, whatever else is around it, to help rebuild the area that has gone through some trauma. And as a result of that, you can experience some pain and discomfort. It can restrict your movement, and it can also greatly impact how well your core and your pelvic floor functions. So you want to make sure that you are going to see someone, whether it's a physical therapist or a massage therapist, after your incisions have healed, preferably after your 6 weeks mark. You want to go see someone who can help break up that scar tissue and teach you how to do some soft tissue work on yourself, so you can keep breaking up that scar tissue so that things can heal even more. So there you have it. Those are 5 tips for C-section recovery. If you do have any questions, if you would like more information, if you would like even more guidance, if you are a mom trying to get back into fitness postpartum, if you are a mom who has had a C-section and you want to know how to proceed getting back into fitness, if you just want some tips on how to help better take care of yourself and make yourself a priority, I encourage you to sign up for my Lift Like a Mom free coaching program. So it's a month-long program of workouts, nutrition tips, self-care tips, and core and pelvic floor tips. And there's also a Facebook group that you can join where I pop in every now and then to provide some extra coaching should you have any questions while you are working through the program. And I will try and see if I can get it in the comments. I'm new to this Facebook Live thing, so just bear with me. Either way, I will find a way to make it available to you. And you can also go to my Facebook page, and at the top there is a pinned section where the link for the workout is available. And you can also go to the banner on my Facebook page and sign up for it there, or at my Instagram page at Victoria Dosen. There I have a link where you can go and sign up for the program there. So there you have it. Those are some tips. I hope they are helpful for you, and I will see you soon. I will be back with another Facebook Live to provide you with some great information. So until then, have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.